Hi, I'm Alan Sagano. I'm the president of ADS Consulting Group. And today we're going to be we're doing a deeper dive into a spreadsheet that was delivered by the Department of Homeland Security regarding threats, advanced persistent threats coming from Iran. So this last video will be talking about what the impact was. So let's dive in, and it's bad. It's really bad. Another important takeaway here in 2017, the average days to detect a hack was 203, I believe. That's about 203 days too long. So this kind of summarizes what the impact was, what the damage was after the hackers got in and got full access to organizations' networks. So let's take a look. Hi, I'm Alan Sagano. I'm the president of ADS Consulting Group. And in this last video in this series, we're going to talk about the impact of all these advanced persistent threats had on these organizations. And it's a trail of tears. So the first one was account access removal. So either removing the account or reducing the rights for an account. Data destruction. So I would exfiltrate the data first, in other words, steal it, and then wipe it. And then also encrypt it. So crypto locker, would I probably do some type of malware that does some type of encryption and ask for ransomware. Defacement, that's really, in the scheme of things, that's not as bad as getting your data destroyed or encrypted. I mean, if all of these, I would say defacement, it's probably one of the least major consequences of these types of attacks. Wiping your disk content, yeah, that's pretty severe, right? All your data's gone. Wiping your disk structure, not only wiping the data, but then destroying like your RAID arrays or something, that would be bad. Or blowing out your LUNs on your SAN, that would be really bad. Endpoint denial of service, jogpile on the rabbit, so having everybody jump on a machine to a denial of service, so it basically renders it useless. Anonymous is famous for doing that, right? But it's usually just more to prove a point than for actual stealing of your data. Firmware corruption, scrambling your firmware, which depending on how bad it is, can actually render your hardware useless. System recovery, inhibiting that. That's why it's really important to have good backups, as well as have 3-2-1 backup rules. So 3 copies of your data on 2 separate media, and most importantly, 1 copy offsite and offline. Network denial of service, which is a little bit different, where you can launch that across the entire network. You can also do things like tweak your switch configuration, make everybody go to air or to jail, or have VLANs go nowhere. That could be a denial of service. It might take a while to figure out what's going on. Resource hijacking, taking advantage, also like for crypto mining, right? Sucking up all the CPU resources on your servers. Runtime data manipulation. So when something runs in real time, tweaking the data to have it produce bad things. Service stop, obviously stopping a service. Stored data manipulation. Changing data, screwing up, corrupting records, corrupting software, corrupting databases might be a problem. Shutting down systems, kind of a roughly also a denial of service attack. And then transmitted data manipulation. So those are all the bad things that potentially can come out of a result of these hacks. And again, this is one of those stitch in time saves 9,000. Your best defense is an offense, right? So again, keep up to date with patches. Make sure you're using industrial grade firewall. Consider using a system that only allows applications that are whitelisted to run. Use multi-factor authentication, super, super important. Silo your network. Use a good antivirus software. Use a SIM. Take advantage of syslogging. Look for unusual activity like high bandwidth utilization on your internet lines. All of these can be done. And again, as I mentioned before, the average days to detect a hack in 2017 was 203 days. That's not good. So you definitely want to get eyes on this much faster. That's where multi-factor authentication come in, because right, if you have a request for MFA and you didn't try to log in, you know immediately that your accounts have been compromised, your creds have been compromised. Frequent password changes is another one. Monitoring and auditing all the escalated privileges, administrator, domain admins, schema admins, enterprise admins, all of those should be monitored. The membership should be monitored very, very closely. So basically, that's I thought this was a pretty fascinating spreadsheet. Kudos to the Department of Homeland Security for putting this together. It kind of puts it in digestible form, I thought. Hopefully you learned something from this series of videos. If you did, please boink, hit that subscribe button, and we'll keep making this content. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll talk to you soon.